morning everyone. So I'm currently in Split, and the reason why I'm here is because today I will be traveling to the island called Sholta. And now Sholta Island is interesting for many reasons. It has quite a long history that dates back to Greek times, and there is also a lot of Venetian cultural heritage from 15th century when Sholta was part of Venetian Republic. But the reason why I will be traveling there together with my sister and my friend is because on Sholta Island there is a very famous shipwreck. It's a World War II era shipwreck of Kontesa. And the ship is quite large, it's around 30 meters long, and it sank only at 4 meters depth. So it will be very easy to explore it and dive around it. And that's going to be the focus on our video, but of course we are also going to see some other things. There is a city of Grohote, or a village. It's actually a village where you can see a lot of this Venetian cultural heritage. So that's also going to be an interesting thing. But as I said, focus is on this shipwreck. So yeah, we are about to board the boat and start the journey. So let's go. And as you can see, the journey didn't start as planned. We had some trouble locating the right dock, but luckily we found it just in time to start our journey. Now it's 11:54 and the ferry has just started moving around 10 minutes later than it was supposed to. But it kind of gave me a feeling that I'm in Croatia, because in Croatia everything is late. So the last 2 times when boats were on time, I was like, whoa, what's happening? I don't even feel like I'm in my own country anymore. I don't recognize it. Everything is on time, and now finally I'm like, all right, I'm home. I'm definitely home. And the journey was quite comfortable, and except the ferry being a few minutes late, there wasn't much to complain about, especially considering the fact that the round-trip ticket cost only €10 per person. Okay, so we have officially arrived to Sholta, and now one thing that you have to know is that when you arrive to Sholta, you are not going to arrive in the main village. So Sholta only has villages, there are no cities. And you will arrive in the village called Rogač. And this Rogač is only a small port village, and there isn't much to do there, so no matter if you want to go to Kontesa shipwreck or not, you definitely want to go to Grohote, the main village on the island, located around 1.5 kilometers from Rogač. But keep in mind that if you do it in summer, it's going to be hell of a journey, literally. Yeah, we started the move to Grohote, and it's like 1.5 kilometers, but look at the road, quite tough. Mihailo did a smart thing. He took off his shirt, and I think that's exactly what I'm going to do because otherwise I'm going to die. It's like we are in the middle of the heat wave. Basically, it's so hot and I'm sweating so much that my eyebrows can't stop all the sweat. So it's kind of going into my eyes. That's how hot it is. Check it out, they are dying. Trip so far. Great. Great. And except occasional sea views, the road to Grohote is actually pretty uneventful, but luckily it's also pretty short, plus there is also medical support along the way in case that you need it. So yeah, we just arrived in Grohote Village. This is where it starts. And guys, check out the views. The views are amazing. You have this little heart to take the pictures. And now, one thing to keep in mind about Grohote is that this village is, like mostly is going to be the houses, and then there is just this one church and maybe a couple of old houses around it, but it's not like the city. So here we are not really going to see this rich cultural heritage, this rich stone streets like in the cities. This is just a village. And even though this was a part of Venetian Republic, you're not really going to see much evidence of that, you know. So just a church and a couple of more buildings around the entire island. And yes, that is the church. So this is like the main building here. And yeah, you can now see maybe a little bit of this older house. It will be interesting to go there. We are going to enter the church if we can. We are going to enter the church. It's 18th century church, so this is Venetian period, and we will see if it's opened. I think it should be opened. Otvoreno, it's opened. Unfortunately, you can't enter the church itself, but only walk around the surrounding garden and an old graveyard, which also happens to be the final resting place of great Croatian writer Vesna Parun. And just as I predicted, around the church you can also find some old houses that dates back to the 19th century, but are mostly abandoned from the late 1980s. And as you can see, there is a little bit of an old core. You can see now these old houses. This is the old core of the city, and you can also see it there, and we are going to go through it a little bit. But you know, what I find a little bit unfortunate is simply the fact that, you know, the road is just concrete. And I think it would look way better if it would be, you know, stone. This is what we filmed with drone. You can see now, usually it's abandoned, as you can see. It is abandoned. Check it out. Yeah, you can see it's all abandoned, everything. And now we are seeing the first street that has this original stone, and that is so nice. Like, this is the old street. Wow. Yeah, and this is kind of this authentic Dalmatian village, and what I find very interesting, you know, is that usually when you come to the cities on the island, you know, on any island, when it's a city and when it's like a touristy city, it's like, you know, very polished, you know, but here you can see this real, like, raw reality of island life, which is really cool. And also one more thing, this Grohote place, it has like, I think 300 people. The island overall has like 3,000, but here it's like 300. And you know, like the cool thing, I mean not the cool, but just interesting is how you really can't find anyone on the street, you know. But you can see this little old houses, this is so cool. Look at this, this is like nobody lives here, but the house is opened, so you can come inside literally. Check this out. You can see like old newspaper. Oh my god. These are Yugoslavian newspaper. Mirjana iz Jugo Lige. Čitaoci I redakcija. Nisam zaboravio, I didn't forget my... You have the old well. There is still water inside. So there is still water inside this old well. And, oh jebote. Barbara. You know, it's so sad when you see these villages and you think how life was happening here. Barbara, ajmo tu, ovdje tu nismo bili. Tu se može proći. It's so sad to think how, you know, before life was happening here and you had kids running around and families, and now there is nothing here. Okay, so now that you have seen Grohote, I want to tell you about eating options here. So basically, if you decide to go see Kontesa Shipwreck like I did, you can either eat some real food at the port village of Rogač or buy some snacky food in store in Grohote. Now if you do that, I suggest you to snack on it in a nearby park where you can hide in a tree shade before taking a walk to the shipwreck. Okay. And now we are starting the journey from Grohote to this Kontesa boat, and I feel refreshed because I ate. I feel full of energy. I feel hot, literally, because it's like 35 degrees, and I'm very excited because, you know, it's not on many places where you can see World War II shipwrecks. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, so we are now around 5 minutes in, and as you can see there is no shade, and we have 2 kilometers to go. So it's 2 kilometers, around 25 minutes overall. Not that bad, but with this sun it's terrible. Oh no. And you can see this is a dry wall, which is pretty much the classic way of building walls in Croatia, Italy.
Without mortar.
Yeah, without mortar. So it's just stone on the stone, nothing to connect them. Okay. And check this out. The road is getting wilder and wilder. Oh my god. And now like this is the part where you have to be careful, because this is the road that obviously isn't used too often. And now you have to be careful because there could be like wasp nests, hornet nests, snakes, you know, all this exists here. So you really have to like be careful. Check this out. This is like you're in the Lord of the Rings, you know, you have this road and then the tree fell here. Whoa, whoa. Crazy place.
My precious.
Road.
Yeah, that's the beach, you can see it right there. You can see a little blue part. Oh. And now, yeah, you can see we are here. And yeah, it's a lot of boats are here, unfortunately. That's a little bit, you know, I wish there were less boats. So now we are going to find this Kontesa boat, fly it over, you know, fly the drone over. And yeah, then we are gonna go swim and dive around it. You know, it's so weird to see it because, you know, looking at it now, you know, it's so degraded, right? You know, like the parts are all over the place, and it's even like hard to say that it was a ship, you know, it's hard to kind of understand how the shape was.
Yes, except for ribs.
Yeah.
You can barely recognize it.
Yeah. The level of destruction is quite large. But yeah, of course it's a very unique place to see because it's so close to the coast that you can literally like stand on the parts of the boat. That's how close it is. For me the favorite thing is to like go down and then like touch stuff, and then you get surprised because, you know, you think something is hard and it's just a sponge, let's say. And Barbara, what do you think about the Kontesa ship?
So I really liked the experience, but I think that experience would be better if the wreck was actually further from coast. Because when you're there and there are so many people and boats, it doesn't feel as mysterious as I expected it to be. Experience feels more family friendly and less like something, less like diving into unknown and something unexplored. And I would like it better if it was that way.
Okay, those were my sister's 2 cents, but look, we can't finish the video with empty stomach, so let me show you one cool place in the port village of Rogač where you can eat something. Okay, so you can see. I mean, prices are, so these are the starters, you know, I mean, some are cheap, some are more, I mean, not cheap, but some are relatively, I guess, at least price is not so bad, but some are a little bit more on the expensive side. And then when we get to the fish dishes, this is where it gets very, very bad. This chicken. Beer prices are classic restaurant prices. I will take draft beer, ½ liter. And then, as I said, this pasta. And here we have 2 of my favorite liquids, beer and the sea. And combining them together gives me the pleasure that no woman can give me. Nothing better than this. Okay, without getting into too many details, I am happy to report that the food tasted really good. So if you come to Rogač and want to eat in a really good restaurant where cute little crabs keep you company, restaurant Passarella is the way to go. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you were entertained. God bless you, and of course, see you in the next video. Bye bye.